Good Thursday morning, East Tennessee. My name is David Aldrich, Chief Meteorologist of Captain Accurate Weather, coming to you by way of the Captain Accurate Weather Command Center. Happy that you're here. It's Thursday. That means it's almost Friday. It's almost the weekend, and it's cold outside. It's 36 degrees at McGee Tyson, but that doesn't tell the whole story. Come on, Aldrich. Look at Crossville. They're at 29 degrees. 29 degrees for Crossville, and no freeze warning. That's odd. 30 degrees in Oneida, and no freeze warning. That's odd. Some of us might think, well, that was probably a missed opportunity, and I would say probably so. If you have the Captain Accurate Weather app, do you see anywhere in Tennessee that's under a frost or freeze advisory or warning? No, they're not. But I tell you what, if you brought in your potted plants or covered them up, you might be thankful that you did, because it's 30 degrees in Scott County. I would imagine it's pretty close to 29 all around Crossville. That would include Lake Tansy, that would include Fairfield Glade, and it's freezing in Wartburg, and it's 28 in Jonesville. So it's not just a Jonesville issue this morning. It could very well be freezing where you are in Sevierville, Pigeon Forge, Gatlinburg. But no frost advisories. This is what I found kind of interesting, but again, some would say, well, it's cold, but no frost formed. Okay, but I like to say there's frost potential. We've got clear skies, cold start, and it's 34 degrees in Oak Ridge. My expectation is that we would drop to 34. If you watched last night's video, hopefully that would show that it goes right to about 8 o'clock this morning. It is, by the way, 6:41, cold enough to see your breath, and probably a change of the season. 'Tis the season to be colder. But it's not just the temperature, it's maybe the wind, a very light wind. I don't see much. A lot of zeros means calm wind, but we have, 3 miles an hour there in Jamestown, 2 in Wartburg, and a few maybe gusts of wind closer to 10 in the Smokies. But that brings the wind chill down to freezing in Wartburg and Jamestown. The cold air certainly is in place. I got to tell you that. By the way, if you're on the call, I want to say good morning to you. How cold are you? Fred's on here. He's got a weather report. He's reporting in Blount County, a chilly 34 degrees. Thank you for that update, Fred. Light frost on the windshield. So you do have light frost. But no frosted warnings, no frost. People challenge me all the time. Why isn't the Weather Service? Asking me why the Weather Service does something or doesn't do something is like it's like asking your neighbor, when are you going to mow your lawn? That's not my job. But my job is to tell you when it's going to get cold, and it has turned cold. And we're going to be just as cold, or pretty close to it tonight when we drop to 36. We're at 36 now. I think we could go to 34 before the morning is through. So just throw that out there. The reason some of these numbers aren't populating is because we don't have a wind. Now, if that intel that I just shared with you, that it's cold, and that we have no frost advisories in the state of Tennessee, was that a missed opportunity? You decide. I've got a lot of other good things to share with you, but I hope you'll join us on the premium side, because my winter weather outlook, which is a very detailed video that I'm putting together now, will be coming out very soon. So I want you to be prepared so that weather doesn't surprise you. Isn't that? I've heard that before. You've said that. That's like your thing, Aldrich. Yeah, it is. So weather doesn't surprise you. So if Captain Accurate was right about this, and he was right about the 8.5 inches of snow, I said 8 to 12 for my premium members last October, and we got it around Martin Luther King Day, wouldn't you like to know what we're going to get this winter? I would encourage you to join us. We are just a subscription service away on Facebook that you might want to check us out. It's only $4.99 a month, and you can cancel any time, but I think you'll be impressed with what will be presented here in a couple of days from now. My premium members are very excited about this time of year when that comes out. By the way, visibility has dropped with some fog in Jacksboro. It's pretty poor in Campbell County, down to a mile in Oak Ridge, and you may be centered in Knox County with some fog, but at least the airport number there is 10. 10 miles visibility at the airport, but again, that may not be representative of what's going on in Fountain City or maybe other parts of Union County and Granger County. Just want to say good morning to you if you're on the call. It is 6:44. I've gone on enough, I guess, about the chill. Carrie's on here. She's got a burr. She says it's chilly. Everyone have a great day. 2 cups of coffee. I have not had my coffee yet, but I look forward to having one very soon, Carrie. Thanks for being here live. Lana Johnson is also here. She says good morning from Kodak. She says, I see your breath kind of morning, but the coffee is hot. Everyone have a great day. Glad to see her here. And Karen Robbins is in Cumberland County. She's got 34 in Fairfield Glades. Have a chilly and fantabulous day. Great to see you all here. And Wanda Poe, who I hope and wish the very best, she says, good morning, David. I'm home It's cold, like it's almost like it's having snow. You know what's interesting about snow? I got an update for you. Come back on camera. There was 4 inches of snow measured at the top of Mount LeConte on Wednesday. They said the snow line did dip below 4,000 feet. So if you were a hiker, you got below 4,000 feet, you started to see the snow gradually increase as you moved up toward the summit. But 4 inches of snow, nothing to sneeze at. That was Mount LeConte's first go of it as far as the snow this season, and it's only mid-October. That's not unheard of for them, but it was certainly cold enough for them to see snowflakes in ample supply in Mount LeConte just on early Wednesday morning. I guess is when they finally measured that. By the way, it's 6:45. Not a lot of clouds to see here. Sunshine skies, sunny and bright will be the name of the game, and we'll be continuing to need the sunglasses. So here's where I expect to be. It won't be like this all day. It won't be this cold. It will get a little milder, but even still, 61 degrees this time of year is precisely 10 degrees below normal. The normal high is 71. The normal low is 48. And I would be hard-pressed to find anybody at 48 degrees this morning. Many of us are in the mid-30s or low 30s, and some cases below freezing. Just want to say good morning to you. You've got some other notes here. I've got some really interesting notes. You know, we've had now for the month of October 0.02 inches of rain at McGee-Tyson. Now, where official records go back to the 1870s, that's a pretty outstanding record to have access to, but that's what McGee-Tyson has had, or at least Knoxville, going back to the 1870s, 0.02. We are on track. You ready for this? We are on track to be the second driest October on record. Because if Captain Accurate's leading on to something, if we don't get any more rain for the rest of the month, and it's the 17th, we would finish with 0.02. Did you know in 2000 and in 1963, 2 years, we had only a trace? We had actually less rain in 2000 and in 1963. That's the driest period of time in October we've ever had on record going back to the 1870s. Now in 1904, 0.07, 2016, we had 0.18. Boy, was that a dry month. 0.18, that was it in 2016. But anyway, if we finish, and we're on track, I don't see much rain in the 7-day. You could put out a 14-day. Not a whole lot of rain in the forecast, maybe some pockets of drizzle in some spots, but you're going to have to be prepared if you are concerned about your lawn or the soil that surrounds you, that we're going to be staying dry. And we'll be getting a new drought monitor from NOAA a little bit later today. 61 is my expectation for a high temperature today. There is a moisture deficit, again, given all the rain we had in the last 30 days from Helene. We're not colored much here. The purple areas represent about 1/10 of an inch based on the legend at the top, but it does show signs of being very dry in much of Alabama as they're going to be coming to town for football this upcoming Saturday. I've got that forecast coming up. But if you're looking and keeping track of just how cool it has gone, keep in mind we had 5 days in the 80s, the 2nd to the 6th of October, but now we've been in the 60s, 50s, and 50s, going back to yesterday, day before, and so on. So the blue squares are in fact below average numbers. It's like the pendulum. It's like the tide at the beach. It's like the moon. It goes from new moon to full moon. Why? And why were we the 14th wettest September on record? Because of Helene. But we could have the second driest October ever. You heard it here first. I'm telling you what, if we don't see another drop and we finish with 0.02 inches, many of us are going to cry foul and say, something's wrong. Well, that's just how Mother Nature works, I'm afraid. Alabama and Tennessee, we've got a 3:30 game on ABC. Temperatures are still going to be in the low 70s. I've kind of flirted with 71, 72, 70, but I think we're probably going to warm up nicely in time for the weekend. Mostly sunny my expectation, and we'll be starting the morning generally in the 40s, low 40s, as we start upper 30s, low 40s for those who were tailgating very early Saturday morning. Both teams are 5-1. Go Vols. Now, here it is. The ultimate Doppler radar, nothing to see here. And in terms of frost advisories, nothing to see here. So some of you, like Fred says, he has some light frost. Maybe a frost advisory would have been helpful because sometimes that adds some legitimacy to the forecast. But even still, it's the time of year where you normally see the first frost about the 24th of October, but that's coming 8 days, in some cases for you, 8 days earlier than normal. The ultimate Doppler radar over the last 8 hours, not showing anything here, but there are some frost concerns, freeze warnings, I should say, in purple in Kentucky. If you are hungry for lunch and haven't made plans just yet, may I recommend Marcos.com. Marcos Pizza, they do deliver, and they're in Hardin Valley, Farragut, and Maryville. They're in Fountain City Halls, Oak Ridge, Middlebrook Pike, Ebenezer Road. The magnificent pizza they call the Magnifico is available for less than $10, and you can check out their Pizzoli for lunch. I love it. It's less than $6, and my personal favorite is the pepperoni and sausage. You might want to check it out. It's the one at the top of that photograph. But love the Pizzolis and love their pizza. As we look at the big picture, can you name one of the Tennessee counties that's under a freeze or frost advisory? I mean, even Atlanta. Atlanta's under a frost advisory, and they're south of us, Fulton County. But we don't have one in Knoxville. It just seems weird. It's usually they coordinate. The Weather Service offices, they check in with what are you doing, what are you doing, and they coordinate the expiration time, so it's kind of fluid. But here, we've got places all over the state of Tennessee that are frost advisory free, and we got frost advisories all around us to the south, to the east, to the north, to the west. It's kind of strange. Interesting to know what you think. And if you have a frost report this morning, would love to hear it. Got another note from Marilyn Bell. She says, happy Thursday. And she's noting it's frosty outside in White Pine. I imagine it is. But don't tell the Weather Service that today, Marilyn. Crystal says it's very foggy where I live in Morristown. So we've got the fog, we've got the frost, and we've got 32 degrees in Sweetwater. What a great weather report from Cynthia Wiseman. Thank you so much for that, Cynthia. Glad to have you here live as well. And our friend Esther Atkins has a 35 in Washburn. So think about it. We are not going to see the sun until 7:45. That's 7:45 to you and me. So we've got some cooling. It's only 6:52. We still have some time to drop in temperature from where we are at this particular moment. Now, there are some fire concerns in pink or red across Omaha. It's not saying that there is a fire, but they're encouraging people not to burn because of the low relative humidity and a gusty wind or two. So there's certainly issues there as far as fire danger and nothing going on in the Gulf of Mexico at this point. In fact, we're going to talk about the tropics here in just a moment, but it's important. It's important to know because I beat this drum all the time. October is usually the driest month of the year, and we've had as little as a trace in 2000. We've had as little as a trace in 1963. Those are tied for the driest ever. And I say ever because their records go back to Ulysses S. Grant era of 1871. So if you take all those years, like 150 years or so of record keeping, 2000, 1963 are the top driest. And if we had .02, this would probably be second place. The third one would be 1904, .07. So we'd have to get another 0.05 of an inch to surpass 1904. That's back when Teddy Roosevelt was in the White House. A long time ago, folks. This is kind of an interesting pendulum swing from the 14th wettest September on record to could be the second driest October ever from records keeping. Anyway, smoke is probably not an issue today. It looks great, actually. You don't see any, see the arrows, but some of that smoke wants to come down from maybe nearby or far away wildfires by midday tomorrow. So we may see with the sunny sky a little more haze. That's not necessarily meaning you're going to be coughing with smoke because this is throughout the entire column of air. But it might add enough haze to the atmosphere on Friday that you say, yeah, it doesn't look as blue, the sky doesn't, as it might today. I think today is going to be gorgeous once we get through the chill. In terms of hurricane season, confidence keeps dropping. This was a 60% chance over Puerto Rico maybe 2 days ago. And then 50% yesterday, now it's 30%. So the chance of this becoming Nadine keeps dropping, and the other opportunity of 20% has been holding steady. So it doesn't show much promise of getting a new tropical storm name, but if they're going to get some rain, tropical rains that may just maybe ruin someone's vacation that might be down in that direction. Meanwhile, as we look at the clouds, don't see much, looks pretty quiet. Let's take a look at the sunrise, 7:45. And boo, yeah, sun sets at 6:57. If you're curious, it's November 2nd. It's that Saturday, 2nd and 3rd of November. When we change the clocks, we'll be falling back an hour. People love that, but then they don't like the fact that maybe it gets darker sooner. So that's just the way it goes. But the sun sets tonight at 6:57. What a comment that you might have. I got a little star there from Rose. I got a Michael Norman note. It says, I find the cold temperatures unacceptable. Well, that's a good word. For this time of year, I would say that it is maybe a little unusual because the median first frost is the 24th, and today's the 17th. So if it didn't happen yesterday morning, it's certainly maybe 7 days earlier for some. But if you're keeping track, this cold air will repeat itself later tonight, tomorrow morning. As far as the bus stop forecast, it's 6:55. My goal is to be done here in about 5 minutes. I think I can name that tune. Bus stop forecast 43 at 10. We go from 30s, 40s, and pickup temperature around 57 to near 60. I think 61 is a good finishing point, but that should occur closer to 5 p.m. But between 2 and 3:30, you can anticipate upper 50s. Headlines: sunny and bright today. Love that. Frost potential tonight. I got so eager with my emoji. Covers the word tonight, but frost potential, patchy, like we had this morning. In some cases, you might see it again. Whether or not there's a frost advisory might be a good idea just to cover them up or bring in those potted plants. If it's too heavy to lift into the garage, maybe certainly cover it up wouldn't be a bad idea. And warmer days are coming back this weekend. Hopefully Michael Norman will find that bullet point acceptable. I find warmer days this weekend acceptable. I think it'll be warming back into the 70s just in time for the Vols game against Alabama. All right, so let's talk about the temperatures. Again, 35 looks like the new temperature we've just dropped since this live stream began. McGee-Tyson is now at 35. 34 in Johnson City. They're at 36 degrees in Lexington. Our friends in Atlanta are 41 degrees at this particular time. But if you look at the nuts and the bolts, current conditions, no wind to speak of, so hence 35 feels like 35 degrees. We have a dew point of 33, so we could cool another degree or two. Sunny and bright today, a cool breeze out of the northeast, about 5 to 10 plus. Last night I think I had 5 to 15, but maybe closer to 5 to 10 most of the day. Could easily gust above 15, but with high temperatures struggling to get to 61, go ahead and plan on a lunch of 51. That's cold, right? You're going to jump 10 degrees from lunchtime to driving home if you're in the valley, 51 to 61. So that's my expectation here on a Thursday. No chance of rain. We've kind of beat that drum as well. It's not in the forecast. I don't see much hope for that. But where there could be some thunderstorm activity, that's the first little box there. I guess it's the lightest green. Covers some parts of the country, but not here. It's out west. Maybe it's Key West. But there will be some thunderstorm potential for Denver and back towards, say, Utah, Salt Lake City, and Albuquerque. Nothing going on here today. Clearly, a lot of skies that are clear. Some frost maybe this morning. And then on Friday, it's interesting, there's a little patch of dark green. Severe weather, potentially, between Santa Fe and Amarillo in parts of New Mexico. And this may be repeated there on Saturday as well. So Friday, it's out west that has some severe weather potential. There's Saturday. Looks like the green area grows into Texas, just west of Amarillo. But New Mexico, parts of North Texas could have some isolated severe storms on Saturday. Not much beyond that. Looks pretty quiet on this side of the Mississippi and this side into East Tennessee. So let's talk about the big bubble. No trouble. Large scale sinking, very few clouds. Big high moves over the Commonwealth of Kentucky by 5 o'clock today. By 11 o'clock, it's finding a new home over the Ohio Valley. And we'll find skies clear and temperatures will drop back into the mid-30s in the valley. Heading into Friday at midday, it's still nice and sunny. I don't even see a front nearby. It looks pretty quiet. And then we head into Saturday, we'll gradually get some warmer air. Temperatures by Saturday should reach into the lower 70s. So that's my expectation. And Sunday, maybe actually mid-70s. It got us closer to 74, and then getting up to about 77 heading into the upcoming week ahead. So there's some hope that we will warm up, but just not as quickly as some might hope. 61, the high temperature for today, sunny and bright. It's 6:59. It's time for that forecast. Cool breeze, and when it's moving, it'll be out of the northeast, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Could gust a little higher. Today, I'm looking for a high in Kingston and Von Orr. 63, 60 for White Pine, Talbot, Russellville, White Pine, and 60 for Dandridge, Newport, Del Rio, Cosby, and only 59 for our friends in Sevierville, Pigeon Forge this afternoon. 60 for Crossville, Cumberland County, and 61 Campbell County in La Follette. Those are my expectations today with ample sunshine. Today we're looking for a high for Travelers at 66 in Nashville and Memphis, and only 60 for Lexington up in Fayette County, Kentucky. Tonight we're down to 36. Maybe that's a degree or two warmer than you are now, but plenty of stars, frost potential, albeit patchy, and even some fog, like some of you are dealing with now, should reappear first thing tomorrow morning. That's my expectation. Winds will be dropping off northeast 3 to 8 at their highest point. Tonight we're down to 36 in Morristown, 34 in Wartburg, 34 in Crossville, and 36 in Maryville, Alcoa. If you've got a note, want to say good morning to you. Mary Powers says, have a great day. She declares that it is cold. It is cold in Newport. I would definitely agree. More of that is coming, no doubt. Got another note from Ed. Didn't say hi to him. I don't know how I passed him by. Good morning. Bring on the warmth. Have a good day. And glad to have everybody on here. And my friend Steve Stone. How did I miss that, Bill? He's on YouTube. He's got the red icon in the bottom right. He is also forecasting the sunshine and the happy face. I think it's going to be a beautiful day, Steve. Hope you have a great day. Indeed. As we have now hit 7:01, time now for your forecast. The Captain Accurate Weather Authority forecast for the next 7 days. 61 today. We're going to jump 7 degrees tomorrow afternoon to 68. It will be milder. And then we've got mid-70s for Sunday, perhaps mid to upper 70s by Monday and Wednesday at 77. But sunglasses, if you just bought a new pair, boy, you're going to get some good mileage out of it because it's going to stay nice and bright for the foreseeable future. I was tempted to put some drizzle in on Wednesday, but even still, drizzle on Wednesday is not going to put us into the rain bucket with some measurable rain, right? A trace would be some drizzle. So I don't think that's going to be making up. And what is this going to do for us? This is going to take us, what, to the 23rd? 23rd, and then we're into the last week of October. What if it stays just as dry that week? Yeah, then everybody's going to hit the bandwagon. This is the second driest October on record, second only to 2000 and 1963 when we had a trace. Yeah, it's on track. It's definitely on track for that. By the way, if you haven't checked us out on YouTube, another platform, very easy to find. Just type in youtube.com and then add the /@ Captain Accurate. You'll find it there. It's another way, another platform to catch the information and get it where you like to have it. By the way, the Captain Accurate Weather app also has Pete Michaels traffic, so you could assess the traffic situation where you are at just a click of a button. And I love it because you get all the National Weather Service alerts plus 3 extras plus lightning alerts. This is free. I mentioned it earlier in this live stream. My winter weather outlook is just days away from being posted, and it will only be on the premium side. So I really encourage you. Like last year, nobody knew, unless you were a premium member, maybe a friend of a premium member, that I was expecting 8 to 12 inches of snow. And I gave an outline of when I thought that would occur, and I made a case. It wasn't just, I'm going to give you a number. I put some facts and base it on data, and I like to explain why and how I'm thinking about this winter, because it will be something you might want to check us out. By the way, the premium service is just a matter of hitting the subscribe button at the top of my Facebook post. You're the first to get every snow forecast. The URL pictured there will go if you hit the subscribe button, or you could go to CaptainAccurate.com for more information. You're the first to get every forecast to the tune of 30 minutes to an hour ahead of time before it's posted on the app, if that's important to you. And we like to focus on the weather that goes beyond the next 7 days. So if I'm focused on the weather that's beyond the next 7 days, no wonder you think this could be the second driest October ever. Yeah, because I can see what's going on. The pattern doesn't look like it changes much. And we'll talk more about that on the premium side. But more Facebook Lives are afforded you if you join us on premium. We give a Facebook Live extra on Sundays, which is $4 extra a month to help you plan for the week ahead. You get fewer ads with premium. Just a great service, I think. It's now in its 2-year anniversary. We've been doing this for 2 years, and I'm very grateful for every premium member that's either been a premium member or has been with me. I've got oodles of them have been with me those full 2 years. So I'm very, very grateful for them as well. Well, my name is David Aldrich. Some people call me Captain Accurate. It's not easy being accurate, so weather doesn't surprise you. We'll see you here next time. Take care.